Well, Nathan, just speaking on the back of that 2-2 draw, Whitby Town under-19's first outing against Stockton, I'm sure you'd be pretty impressed with what you saw out there.
Really enjoyable, great crowd as well, which is nice to see. It's the start, obviously, of something we've been working on for quite a while at the club. But no, good standard, great attitude by the lads as well, and some good goals as well.
Yeah, and we've seen the last few years you've been trying to get a few more Whitby lads involved. I saw Sam Spencer involved for the under-19s tonight, and plenty of good of local talent out there. I'm sure it caught your eye.
Yeah, listen, it was nice to see local players, particularly from Whitby. It's something that, for a long time we've tried to do at the football club, and we've not really been successful at it. And we've been looking at this for probably best part of 12 months now. In board meetings we've spoke about it, and it's now come to fruition. But it's took a lot of hard work to get here, and for me, obviously as the manager, it's just a massive positive, one for the town, but for the football club it's another team, and obviously it's a pathway to try and get in the first team as well. And I think that's the biggest thing for any kids playing football. They need a pathway, and I think this is the start of that process for these boys.
And you've already touched on there, but the terms of the thing of once you get into that league and getting sort of linked up effectively straight to the club, that you've got that option there. Should you require these players to come in and make an impact on the first team?
Yeah, and I've got no doubt it'll happen. Obviously, we're towards the end of the season now, but going into pre-season, some of these boys will be training with us. I've got no doubt about that. We'll have pre-season friendlies. We'll get some of them involved in that as well. It's not just going to come to them. They've got to work hard, and they've got to have the ability to come in. But I think, looking at what I've seen tonight, there's some boys there with some quality. So it's great for me as the manager of this club.
Yeah, and there's another couple of other bits to get for as well. Obviously, Shane Bland signed a new contract, another 2-year one for him, and I'm sure that he's one of those players that you're always going to be delighted to have on.
Yeah, well, we know what Blandy is. He's a club legend, and he was out of contract at the end of this season. I made it my number one priority to get him signed up, and we've been going backwards and forwards, just talking. I don't think for 1 minute he was ever going to leave the football club, but he needed some assurances from myself as the manager, and from the football club moving forward, and he's got those. And he was very happy to sign what is a 2-year deal, and I think it's a great start for us as we look to secure more boys for next season.
Yeah, and it kind of seems quite astonishing, and well, the fact that he's on track to next season break that record appearance is for Whitby Town, that really he's only still at UNH for a goalkeeper.
He is. He's daft as a brush, but his loyalty towards Whitby, I think it goes without saying. And nowadays in all football, you don't get players who accumulate those kind of appearance numbers, and 10 years at a football club. I think it's a major achievement on a personal level for him. But the fans love him, the club love him. This is kind of like his football home, really. And like I say, he's made the right decision for him, his family, and for me, as obviously he's a manager of the football club, I'm delighted he's signed.
Yeah, and then just looking ahead, back in action, of course, tomorrow against Stafford Rangers, away from home. Obviously, Easter weekend didn't quite go to plan. Tough defeat at Ashton, and the Monday game called off. What's the mood like going to that one?
Mood's good. We trained this week. Went through quite a lot of things. We needed to dissect the Ashton game. For all, in terms of the league, obviously we're playing for pride now. We want to finish the season strong. We're not resting on our laurels. We're not taking things easy. The conversations after the game last Friday were stern. They were hard. But we needed to reflect, and we needed to react. And like I said, the Stafford game is that opportunity now, with the Morpeth game being called off on Bank Holiday Monday. So long trip. They're fighting for their lives, but we're going there to win the game, and it's going to be tough. But again, I say every week, we're going to go there, try and enjoy and play some nice expansive football. Yeah,
and in terms of Stafford as well, you've already touched on it there, that the fact they do need wins to stay up this season, but it seems the last couple of weeks in particular, I know they lost last time out, but it seems that they get a bit of a tune out of themselves there.
Yeah, well, this league up and over, I mean, if you were looking at results alone, we're not in good form, but aside from last Friday, we've been playing some outstanding stuff. Just not been getting the rub of the green. Anybody can beat anybody, and we're certainly not taking anything for granted tomorrow. It's going to be a tough game. It always is at Marston Road, and double that up with the long trip that it is. Always takes a little bit longer because the bus driver has to have his rest as well. So it's a long trip for everybody. But come 3 o'clock we'll be ready, and hopefully come 4:45 we've got 3 points.
Thank you very much, Nathan.